Have you ever felt like you're just drowning in a sea of data buzzwords? Things like data mesh, lakehouse, or fabric? If so, you've come to exactly the right place. It's a world that can feel incredibly complex, but today we're going to cut right through all that noise and give you a clear, simple map of the entire terrain. And this quote from data architect James Serra, it just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? It feels like everyone has a slightly different take on what these things even mean. So that's what we're here to do, to fix that, get us all on the same page, and give you a clear guide to what these architectures are, and more importantly, why they even matter. All right, so before we start comparing a lakehouse to a data fabric, let's back up and ask the most basic question. Why do we even need these complicated systems in the first place? Well, the short answer is to manage and actually get some value from what we all call big data, this absolute explosion of information that companies have to deal with now.
To really get a grip on the whole challenge of big data, people often use this framework called the 6 V's. First up, you've got volume. That's just the massive, massive amount of data. Then there's velocity, the incredible speed it's all coming at us. And of course, variety, because data comes in all shapes and sizes, from neat spreadsheets to messy video files. We also have to think about veracity, like, is this data even accurate? And variability, which deals with all its inconsistencies. But all of these, they all lead up to the 6th, and honestly, the most important V.
And that is value, right? The entire reason we go through the trouble of collecting, storing, and organizing all this data is to get something valuable out of it, to make smarter, faster business decisions. People often call data the new oil, and it's a pretty good analogy. Just like crude oil, raw data is this powerful resource, but you've got to refine it before it's actually useful.
And that whole process of refining data into something useful, well, it's got a name: business intelligence, or BI for short. The goal here is pretty simple: get the right information to the right people at the right time, so you can stop just reacting to what happened yesterday and start actually predicting what might happen tomorrow.
Okay, so how do we even get here? To understand today's modern, kind of crazy architectures, you've really got to go back to the two big ideas that started it all: the data warehouse and the data lake. Pretty much everything we use today is some kind of evolution or a hybrid of these two core philosophies.
First up, we've got the classic relational data warehouse. This idea has been around since the late 1980s. Think of it like a perfectly organized central library for your most important business data. Everything is cleaned up, neatly categorized, and stored based on a structure or schema that you decide on ahead of time. This is what's called a schema-on-write approach. The rules are set before the data even gets in the door. That makes it super reliable and perfect for standard business reporting. Now, in complete contrast to that tidy library, a data lake is more like a huge natural reservoir. You can just pour any kind of data into it, structured, unstructured, completely raw, whatever, without needing to define its purpose first. This uses a schema-on-read approach, which means you only apply structure to the data when you're ready to analyze it. So, where the warehouse gives you that rock-solid reliability and consistency, the lake offers you incredible flexibility and scale. It's a total playground for data scientists who need to explore raw data to find new patterns.
So we have the warehouse, built for structure and reliability, and we have the lake, built for flexibility and scale. The modern architectures we hear about all the time now, they aren't throwing these ideas out, no way. Instead, they're doing something really smart. They're combining their strengths, trying to give us the best of both worlds. In this table, wow, it really tells the story of that whole evolution. You can see these hybrids, like the modern data warehouse and the data lakehouse, popping up to blend the reliability of the warehouse with the flexibility of the lake. They're trying to let you do your traditional BI reports and your advanced AI exploration all from the same system. Then you've got something like the data fabric, which is less about storage and more like this intelligent glue that connects data across all your different systems. But the real game changer here, look at the data mesh. See that approach row? Everything else is centralized. The data mesh flips that entire script and goes decentralized. It's this idea where individual teams, like marketing or sales, own their own data as a product. It's a huge shift. It can make you way more agile, but as you can see in that time to value row, it comes with a much higher upfront complexity.
So, which one is the best? The truth is, there's no silver bullet. There's no single right answer. You don't just pick the newest, trendiest architecture out there just because it's popular. The right choice depends completely on what your organization actually needs, your budget, your team's skills, and maybe most importantly, where you are on your data journey.
And where your organization is on this data maturity journey is a really key factor. I mean, are you in stage 1, the reactive stage, where you're just trying to get a handle on a bunch of scattered spreadsheets? If so, a simple data warehouse could be a huge leap forward. Or maybe you're all the way at stage 3, the predictive stage, trying to let dozens of different teams build their own machine learning models. Well, that's a situation where a much more complex architecture, like a data mesh, might actually be worth the investment. The right architecture is the one that helps you get to the next stage, plain and simple.
Ultimately, choosing a data architecture is a game of trade-offs. It really is. You're constantly having to balance speed against governance, flexibility against consistency, and of course, cost against capability. The best architecture isn't the one that's the most powerful on paper. It's the one that strikes the right balance for your unique business problems.
So, we'll leave you with this. We've just given you a map of the landscape, from those foundational pillars all the way to the modern frontiers. The real question is, looking at your own goals and where you are right now on that data journey, what's the right next step for you? It's a huge question, and now you have the map to help find the answer.